YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy Manu here, aka Mr. See It Before It Happens. And today, fellas, I bring to you game versus Ice versus Prodigy. This is the final 32 of the biggest tournament in Madden history. Again, I classified this as Madden 22 prep because I think it's a good idea to go back and watch these tournament games to help us prepare for the future Madden. So, again, I already broke down my games. Now I'm going to be breaking down the rest of the competitors. So let's get right into it. Again, I'll give a short little preview right after this play here. So Ice, again, one of the best gun bunch players in the world. Obviously going to be in his pattern bunch formation. So, but here now let me do a little kind of preview of both players. So Ice again, I feel like Ice is the most underrated offensive player in the world. I think he's easily one of the best offensive players. I think he's a top 3 decision maker in the bunch formation. He's not going to make really many mistakes at all on offense. Again, to stop Ice, you're actually going to have to stop him. He's not really someone that's just going to stop himself. Prodigy on the other side, he's usually one of the better defensive players. But the problem in this game is Prodigy is usually no more as a regs player. Not only that, Prodigy, just the way his team was set up, again, Prodigy did not have playmaker, and it was really difficult to beat man without playmaker in this tournament. Man to man with one step, it would guard post, crossers, corner routes. So you really needed that playmaker drag or playmaker slant to open up the offense a lot more. So, and for me personally, as someone who's ran trips forever, I was trying all these different ways, to get trips to work without playmaker, and you can still get some plays here and there. But again, it's going to be really difficult to sustain drives without the playmaker. But as you see here, Ice on the second down went right to the playmaker. And you're going to see this a lot in the majority of these tournament games. Again, most of these competitors did have on playmaker because the meta right now on defense is this man-to-man with the one steps. 3rd and 12 here. Again, you're going to see Ice go to this. Ice really like this tight end crosser. So I believe Ice had some some route chems on his. Yeah, he did have route chems on, or not route chems, but abilities, route running abilities to get his receivers open better. So I think he might have had like mid in on, or something like that. So here, back on the 3rd and 12, Ice is gonna go. You're gonna see Ice run this play a lot. I will say the one thing about Ice is, if he does, I would say his major weakness on offense is he can play a bit robotic, but here. This was a great read here from Ice. You're never gonna. It's really rare you're gonna get picked off on that. Again, that was a great read, and that's what I mean about Ice is, I feel like a lot of the best, even bunch players in the world, they kind of struggle under pressure. They're not gonna make great decisions. Ice there, he didn't panic. A lot of people had this tendency of just kind of locking in on that first underneath read, and you saw Ice here. He made a great decision. Threw it over top of Prodigy with the high ball, just wasn't able to come down with it. Again, I'm not mad at that drop though. But starting off here for Prodigy, and if you're Ice, you're not even mad about that. Just don't make a mistake on that first drive. Again, Prodigy does not have playmaker. So again, you really just want to make Prodigy work. Give him a full field to score. You don't want to just make a bad mistake on offense and give him 3, because it's going to be really hard for Prodigy to score in this tournament in general without the playmaker. And again, I'm actually curious to see how Prodigy kind of runs his offense. I'm guessing it's going to be posts and slants. That's really all he can do without the playmaker. So, and exactly so. Again, he's going to start off with the B slant, tight end post over the middle of the field. Again, Ice just got a crazy block shit here. Prodigy possibly could have hit his flats, but honestly, that was just a super quick block shed for Ice. And Prodigy's really going to have to get creative on offense. And again, the key for Prodigy to win this game is he's going to have to really just hold Ice to 10 points or less. I don't see how Prodigy personally scores playing offense. He might be able to get a drive or maybe 2, but again here, that should have been a pick. Maybe not pick 6 here, but that should have been a pick here for Ice. Again, talking with Ice before this game, Prodigy is not a new player. He's been around for a while. I would say one of Prodigy's biggest weaknesses is he's not a good decision maker under pressure. He's highly prone to mistakes under pressure, and I've known him for a while. When he's in those situations where he's getting blitzed, he has this really bad tendency of just kind of locking onto his first read and just kind of throwing it regardlessly. And you kind of saw that there to avoid the sack. So again, I would like to see, when I was talking with Ice before this game, I told him I would like to see him blitz him, even though it's a man meta. I would like to see Ice blitz him a little bit more this game, just because I don't believe Prodigy is a good passer under pressure. So he is going to make those mistakes, as you saw there when he's being blitzed. So here for Ice, really, if you get like 13 points or more, like even maybe just 10 or more, there's a really good chance they're going to win this game. Again, it's not even because Prodigy's a bad offensive player. It's more so because of how he set up his team. Again, just not having the playmaker is going to be so huge. And it's going to it should make it really easy for Ice to play defense on him. And again, you're going to see Ice motion over B a lot. And again, that could have been a pick right there for Prodigy. Again, pretty fortunate there for Ice. Ice tried to playmaker it back. He assumed, the guy was going to win on the playmaker. So, but Prodigy has Acrobat on defense, and he didn't get as much separation as he expected, and fortunate for him to still be going on this drive. But here again, great play by Ice. Again, he didn't get a good rack animation. I will say these motion out flats were really good in last year's game because you get a good rack on them. The only person I've really seen be able to get good racks on these motion out flats is Blocky. I don't know how he does it, but here 3rd and 8. Prodigy is actually going to make a really good defensive play here. This is going to be a great recall. If you guys remember on the last 3rd and 8 or 3rd and 12, try to remember what Ice ran. And Ice mixed it up a little bit, but it was a tight end crosser. So on the last 3rd and 12 that Ice had, it was a tight end crosser. This was great play recall by Prodigy on defense. Again, he anticipated the tight end crosser. Again, I feel like that was phenomenal defense by Prodigy. He sent 6 for 6. He even faked the user rush. If you're Prodigy, you're really upset there that blitz didn't come in because you played great defense, but pretty unfortunate that you just didn't come in there on that play. And this is also going to be a crucial part of the game, is who's getting these red zone touchdowns down here, because even if you can play good offense in between the 20s, again, it's completely different once you get inside the 20. The windows are so condensed down here in the red zone. So you're going to see a lot of players go under center. You're going to see a lot of players run I for him, some single back in these situations. And that's where you saw Ice go under center. It's just really tough to find these open spaces down the red zone. And I think Ice might have had the tight end. But again, safe throw here underneath, hits him with the playmaker. And 3rd and inches, I'm expecting Ice and Ice is going to go under center. And these 3rd and inches, you don't have to get too cute. Just kind of hand it off to your fullback here, hand it off to your halfback, let him truck. Maybe even run a quarterback sneak. Again, no need to really complicate it here. It's already tough enough to score in these situations, so. Again, and Prodigy, man, this was, if you're Prodigy, again, you got to be sick right now. Prodigy had this blown up in the backfield, and Ice's back just somehow found a way to get that first down. That was a miraculous play by who I believe is Marcel Reese. And let's see if that even has an impact on the game, because again, once you're first and goal at the 7, it's still a really difficult position to get 7. So, and again, Ice, even though he's mainly a bunch player, again, you're going to see him go to different formations in the red zone, because again, it's so tough to score down here. So personally, I would like to see him kind of go maybe under center. I'm curious to see if Ice has a pass play here, or if he's just going to run. A lot of times these best players will just kind of run the ball here. And Ice going to go ahead and get the 7. That was that third, or not the third, but the 4th and inch was huge there for Ice. Prodigy probably should have had the stop. Ice is back again. Had a miraculous play and fell for it. So instead of 3 here, Ice is going to be able to get 7, and it's going to put a lot more pressure on Prodigy now. All right, back in offense for Prodigy, and again, I'm curious to see how Prodigy is going to get people open. And again, there's gonna be a lot of passes like that for Prodigy, just because the man-to-man meta is so good, and that's why you saw a lot of the best players use playmakers. So Prodigy is going to have a tough time on offense. Also, another thing to note is Ice, for some reason, is going to guard the halfback himself a lot of the times, and he's kind of going to take his user out of the play. So, but here, that was a good play here for Prodigy. Ice was just trying to kind of keep him off balance a little bit because he had been running a lot of the man-to-man. But honestly, I think Ice should stick a little bit with the man-to-man just because it's going to be really tough for him to move consistently versus it. Another thing Ice could do is, as I said earlier, is I think he should blitz Prodigy a little bit more, just kind of knowing how Prodigy is under pressure. And he, as you're going to see later in this game, Prodigy does start to send more 5-out. So I think Ice's best choices on defense are to run a good bit of man-to-man or mix in the blitz sometimes. And you're going to see this is a good setup here from Prodigy. This is one of my favorite setups that I started doing earlier in the year, where I'll have the running back on the flat and then I'll motion a drag right next to the tight end. So again, you have 2 really short routes going opposite directions at a pretty fast rate. So it's going to be really tough for the user to defend both of those reads right there. And Prodigy knows that Ice has been kind of user guarding the running back himself, so, and he knows that drag motion over can get it open. So he was just really doing that to take Ice's user out of the play. And that's a great play here by Prodigy. And again, you're going to see as his game progresses, Prodigy's going to start to pick up on that Ice is just user guarding the running back himself every single time. Again, Ice really should have started manning him up so he could guard like these slants over the middle of the field, because if he just mans up the running back, there's really not going to be much over the middle of the field for Prodigy. Really, all he has to do is user guard that slant, but again, his user is kind of stuck on the halfback because he didn't dedicate any CPU defenders to him. Again, and that's all you got to do in the red zone here. That was a great drive from Prodigy. When you're in those red zone situations, don't overcomplicate. You just got to give it to Henry sometimes and let him go to work. Again, extremely difficult to pass down here. Again, back on offense for Ice, and again, you're going to see Ice go to this play a lot. This is probably one of easily his favorite plays. So, again, and why Ice is using the ghost route is that ghost route is going to pull down like a lot of these 25-yard, 30-yard clouds. They kind of they suck down the zone drop, so that's why Ice is utilizing that ghost route. And as you see, Prodigy always does a good job of mixing up his coverages. You're going to see Prodigy run, cover 2 zone blitz sending 6. You're going to see him run double maple. You're going to see him run man. That's pretty common from Prodigy. He does like to mix up a lot of different coverages. And again, here, Prodigy's going to send 5 out of cover 3. And that's why, and again, that's why you have that playmaker too. It's really hard to blitz only 5 versus playmaker, because if you don't get in, it's going to be really difficult to anticipate where the playmaker is going sometimes, and it's going to be really easy to get him into an open space on the field because they cut so quickly. So again, here, this is the 3rd time the Ice has kind of came back to this tight end crosser on the 3rd down. and Ice is able to get that motion out flat. But I'm curious to see if Prodigy is going to continue to pick up on that. Again, Prodigy noticed that on the last third down, and honestly, Prodigy played phenomenal defense on that third down. He just unfortunately wasn't able to come in. But that's really the third time that Ice has ran the tight end crosser here in that third down. So I'm curious to see if Prodigy is going to continue to pick up onto that. But honestly, too, the play calling over all around was fairly limited in this club series as well, because the man to man, the man defense was so good, so there wasn't too many routes that really got open versus it. And right there, as you saw, again, usually that crosser is going to beat man to man, but that time the man to man was just all over it. Again, just had no chance of getting open there. So again, if you're Ice, I guess you got to kind of go back to that. You've been having a lot of success with that tight end crosser, so, and that's exactly what Ice does here. He goes right back to the tight end crosser. And again, this motion out flat, last year you could kind of click on and swerve it. It's really hard to get those rack yards this year on it. So again, I would like to see kind of Ice, go away from that a little bit more, because he obviously doesn't have the swerve down on it. So he's just getting like, 1 or 2 yards on that every time he does that, really. But again, back on a 3rd and 8. I'm curious to see if Ice goes back to a tight end crosser. I don't remember if he does now. He doesn't. He's going to mix it up. He's going to go with the tight end corner. And again, this is what I mean about Ice too. Again, Ice might not be as explosive as some other bunch players, but he's going to make really good decisions. He's going to stay super patient. Again, he's not going to hold the ball for a long time. He's going to take those quick reads if you give it to him. He's really consistent with that. Again, 4th and 2 here. I'm expecting Ice to go back to the tight end crosser. That's really been his best route so far on offense, along with like the playmaker drag. So, and again, Prodigy has done a good job mixing it up as well. He always does a good job of mixing up whether he's going to be running coverage, or he mixes up a good bit of blitz and coverage defense. And this is a good mix up here from Ice. Again, he hasn't done this too much yet, and then that's again just another good decision here from Ice. Again, Prodigy mixed it up. He went with a double maple. That was the first time Ice had really called that play. Didn't work out that time, but nothing was there for him. But again, just a great decision to take off there with a quarterback. And that's something you got to do on this game where people are rushing 2 or 3. Sometimes you just got to take those yards with the quarterback. Maybe even make them feel like they got to put a spy. And Ice is always going to get down. He's not going to, play reckless and take those hits with his quarterback. And 50-50 ball there went to Ice. Again, those curls are usually pretty good versus the man-to-man if you click on an agate. Sometimes, if you have Acrobat, though, they can pick that off. But again, this is what I mean about Ice. Ice will nickel and dime you all the way down the field. And he's super patient. He's perfectly okay with hitting those underneath dots every single time. Again, he's going to go back to one of his favorite plays here. Again, with this little ghost route, motion over drag. Again, Prodigy goes with the back-to-back blitz here. And, Ice is able to down him again. Ice is going to make these reads every single time. He makes phenomenal reads on offense. And Prodigy, I feel like Prodigy has to go back to a little bit more coverage defense now. Every time Prodigy's been in that double maple, he's played. Ice has kind of had to throw the ball away around with his quarterback. And that's exactly what Prodigy does. He goes back to the double maple. But Ice has the ghost route on the field. It glitched out his zone drops. The zone drops dropped down. And honestly, I thought that was a great play call from Prodigy. But again, he hasn't seen that ghost route yet. So... and that is going to suck down those zone drops, and that's why Ice was able to get the tight end crosser open there. Again, honestly, at this point, if you're Ice, you feel phenomenal about this game. You don't feel like Prodigy is going to be able to keep up with you. And Prodigy, I really feel like Prodigy kind of lost this game on offense before it started just because of how he selected his team. And again, I love to see the man coverage here from Ice. As long as he starts manning up that running back, it's going to be really hard for Prodigy to consistently move the ball. Again, I feel like if Ice scored 14 or more, even 13 or more, I feel like 90% of the time Ice is going to win this game. Again, Prodigy just really put himself in a bad position before this game even started, not deciding to use playmaker on offense. And again, I love the blitz mixing from Ice, and that really could have easily been a pick there. Again, Prodigy has never been a good passer under pressure, and he's gonna make those mistakes. And that would have ended the game right there if Ice was able to get that. Again, he was just an inch away from getting that. And I honestly, I would have loved to seen Ice do that, a few more times this game, instead of running like the man without the running back manned up. Again, either man with the running back manned up or blitz him when he's setting this 5 out. And so far in this game, every time Ice has gotten Prodigy under pressure, Prodigy was not comfortable at all, and honestly probably should have thrown a pick on both of those plays. So that's something that Ice needs to take note of for the second half. Yeah, and back here on offense for Prodigy. Again, if you're Ice, you feel like you're in a phenomenal position. You just can't do anything too crazy. Now, I'd love to see the blitz again, but I really think he should have. Prodigy's gonna do this running back flat a lot. I think Ice should have mixed in like the 0 yard flat from the safety, because that was really the only quick read that Prodigy had in the field besides the drag. But Ice was using the drag. Again, as you see, every time Ice really runs his man-to-man, really, as long as he's manning up that running back, there's really going to be nothing open for Prodigy. Ice is going to be able to use the slant, and I would really like to see him man up that running back here. And this is how Prodigy plays. Prodigy is more of a balanced offensive player. You're going to see him. He'll still pass usually majority of the game. Like he'll pass like 70% of the game. And he'll run probably like 30% of the game. He's gonna mix in different formations. He's gonna run the ball. He's gonna run some stretch. He's gonna run some power. And he usually has the threat of passing under center as well. So that's something you have to watch out for when you're playing Prodigy as well. Well, here in this 4th and 2, honestly, I think Ice has to stick with the man-to-man and man up the running back. And Prodigy, again, it's really just been slants over the middle of the field. Again, Ice, if you're Ice, you got to get that manned up. That's really the only thing Prodigy has had is that slant over the middle of the field. But this is good recognition here on offense by Prodigy. Again, most offensive players have this bad habit of they just start blocking their running back for absolutely no reason at all. Prodigy recognizes that Ice's user is on the halfback every single play, so he's sending him out on a route just to take Ice's user out of the play. Again, that's great recognition by Prodigy. Again, Ice does it again. Ice is just completely taking his user out of the play because he's going to guard the running back himself every time. And honestly, as I was talking with Ice before this game, if you want Prodigy sending 5 people out on a route, again, Ice needs to blitz them. Again, Prodigy is not going to be a great 5-out player. He's not going to make those reads consistently. You gotta pressure Prodigy when he's doing this much 5-out. Again, you want Prodigy to be sending 5 players out on offense. Again, here on 3rd and 4 for Prodigy, again, you got to expect some sort of slant, and then there it is. Again, the slant's been killing Ice all game. And if, I know that looked bad, but, I kind of see what Prodigy saw. Honestly, usually that defender's not, I guess he could have lowballed it, but, that was a really good play from Ice's defender there. Ice did click on as well, but more often than not, Ice really just has to man up this running back and guard the slant himself. Ice has, or Prodigy has been killing him with the slant over the middle of the field. But honestly, if he just mans up with the running back and uses guards the slant, there's really going to be nothing open from Prodigy. Then there again, it is, Prodigy with the slant. And Ice either has to, again, kind of send 5, maybe put your safety in a 0-yard purple, or just run man-to-man with the running back manned up. Again, Prodigy, I'll give him credit for, continuously sending 5 out, noticing that, Ice is just not putting anyone on the running back, and Prodigy's not just going to start blocking the running back for no reason. And again, I love this from Ice. Again, you want to be Prodigy's sending a lot of 5 out. You want to get Prodigy in these under pressure situations on offense, but again, he's been doing these. He keeps going back to these running back flats. Again, you gotta put your safety on 0, play a little aggressive, and make Prodigy make a good decision under pressure. Again, and this is the thing about Prodigy. You never know what he's going to do when he's in these under center formations. He has a threat of passing. Again, it didn't work out for him here, though. Again, I don't mind the play call here from Prodigy. It's 2nd and 2. You're kind of expecting them to get aggressive, maybe spy the safety. So Prodigy was trying to hit him over the top. I don't mind that play call. Just didn't work out that time. Ice played really good defense. Again, Ice needs to just man up the running back. And Prodigy, he should have kept going back to the slant. Ice hasn't guarded the slant really all game. I mean, he kind of had that one play where his defender came out of nowhere, but Prodigy just waits for him to pass that hook zone. The slant's going to be wide open, and Prodigy needs to go back to the slant with a running back flat. Ice has not shown that he could guard it yet this game, so he has to go back. He has to, stick with that route combination. I get it, though. Sometimes you kind of just expect someone to just guard it eventually, but Ice has not shown yet that he can guard it, so Prodigy needs to go back to that on his next drive. And again, I don't mind this. I know some players will disagree with this. I don't mind. Sometimes you can just maybe pop off a run, see what you can get. It didn't work out there. But you got to go right back to passing here after that. And Ice has done a good job on offense this game, so he needs to go back to the tight end crosser. He's been having a lot of success with that, mainly, and as well as that playmaker drag. Again, that's really what Prodigy should have had on offense, is that playmaker would have made it so much easier on him. Again, Ice just needs to throw this out. Again, Ice has been playing good offense, but this motion out flat has just not worked for him at all this game. Again, every time he throws that motion out flat, he gets a yard. Go back to that tight end. The tight end crosser has been really your best play, or even like the corner off from the tight end as well. I think smash return with the playmaker drag. Those have been your 2 best plays. Again, the motion out flat has just not been effective for Ice. And see, this is the thing about Ice, man. He's one of the most patient passers in the world. He's never going to miss that flat pass. He's going to hit that every time. Again, a lot of players, when they're in that 3rd and 10, they'll get greedy. They're going to start looking down the field, and then they end up taking a sack. Ice is going to stay patient. He's going to take his underneath, and that's what makes him one of the best offensive players in the world. Is he's really not going to miss many of those reads. And again, I love this by Ice. You're going back here to your best play. Prodigy has not had too much success versus this play. And again, Ice here. If you're Ice here, you really just gotta get this ball thrown away. And that really almost kills the drive here. But I can kind of see where he's coming from, though. Ice was probably expecting that 25-yard cloud flat defender to kind of get glitched out. He didn't, and Prodigy just got a good shed there. And if you're Ice, you really just gotta get that ball thrown away. Again, I like this play call here from Ice. He's had a lot of success. He's had pretty decent success with this play. Every time Prodigy has blitzed him, he's just hit the flat quickly. Or in Prodigy, when he's been running man, he hasn't really been purpling his safety or anything. So, and that smash return play, as well as the tight end crosser, have been like Ice's 2 plays. So I like to see him go back to that. And as I said, good. I think Ice stayed in bounds here, and yeah, he did stay in bounds here. So again, I don't mind the run here because if you're Ice, you're probably feeling like Prodigy's really just hasn't been comfortable in offense. And if you just kind of man up the running back here, again, Prodigy's really not going to have anybody open on offense. So, again, these are the situations you want Prodigy in, or really anybody in. But, again, Prodigy's more of a defensive player. And really, he kind of shot himself in the foot again with his team, offensively speaking, and not having that playmaker. So, going down 10 on Madden 21 SC during this time of the tournament is a really tough thing to come back from. So, I don't mind to see Ice Clock here. Honestly, if it, on a 2nd and 9 though, I would have liked to see Ice pass. I don't mind the one run, but I feel like the back-to-back runs is a little much. But and again, Ice really hasn't made a mistake yet on offense. He doesn't really make many mistakes on offense, so I would have liked to seen Ice kind of finish off this game passing. Again, Ice has put on a great passing performance. So again, I don't mind the one run. Just get the clock going. Maybe you might bust around, but again, I feel like all these runs back to back was a little excessive. But I can see where Ice is coming from, though. He's been playing good defense, so going up by 10 in this mode is huge. Again, if you're Prodigy here, he's back on offense. Prodigy, you got to go back. Prodigy has to realize that the slant has been killing Ice the entire game. He's got to motion over the slant, maybe motion over a crosser, something like that. Put your running back on a flat, get your receiver in motion so he gets a free release, and have him going opposite of the flat, because Ice's user has to run to the flat to guard the running back. So just send somebody in motion, get that free release. Send somebody over the middle of the field that's going to get open. There's no reason for Prodigy to not motion over here. The clock is stopped. He needs some motion over. The motion over has been killing Ice all game with the slant. He needs to go back to that here. And again, that's exactly what Prodigy does. He should have put him on a... He really should have put him on a slant, but I guess the drag is okay. But again, Prodigy needs to get a few more yards here than, just a couple yards on a drag. But as you see here, I like the decision again to go back to the running back in a flat. Ice is not guarding that. Again, Prodigy should really even put him on a wheel route. And I believe here he's going to go back to the slant, I hope. And actually the slant had no chance of getting open there. And that's why man-to-man is so good on this mode. It's just so inconsistent in what it plays. Again, you'll see majority of the game, the slant was open every time. And now all of a sudden man is just guarding the slant. And that's why most of the competitive players all agree that, a zone meta is kind of best, because, I don't know, that sometimes the man just kind of plays for you a little bit, and you never know, you don't know what it's going to play consistently, so. And again, I think the story of this drive really is this. I guess Prodigy, I get it, I guess Prodigy's just really trying to work the silence at this point, but again, you've been killing Ice the whole game with the motion over slant. Like, why not? And here, again, that was a great blitz mix in by Ice. And again, I wouldn't mind seeing this more this game, or more blitzing this game, because again, every time Ice has blitzed Prodigy, every time Prodigy has been under pressure, it's been 3 times so far this game. Every single time he's been under pressure, he really should have been picked off. Again, that's something on the scouting report about Prodigy that I've known about him for years. Is, again, he's just not going to make good decisions under pressure. Again, here, this Prodigy is making a play. He just needs to get out of bounds now. Again, and if you're Ice, you're kind of thinking back to, when you're back on offense. This is why I think Ice should have tried to put the game away on offense. Again, I don't mind the one run. Get the clock moving. You might be able to bust a run, but honestly, you were playing great offense versus Prodigy. And again, you're a solid defensive player. You're not one of the better defensive players. Again, just try to put the game away on offense. Again, Prodigy's moving here. And honestly, it's been a pretty fortunate drive for Prodigy, though. He's kind of throwing some ags to his tight end. And Prodigy just got to throw the ball away here. Good decision. Again, when you get inside this 20, it's really, really tough. And really, Prodigy should really have another formations ready for this situation on the field. Again, in trips head in, it's going to be really difficult to find something. at this spot of the field. So I'm kind of curious to see what Prodigy calls here. And again, I would love to see him go back to the slant, but again, that running back angle was a good play call there. I think he tricked Ice's user. That was actually a really good play by Prodigy. So Ice's user has been running out to the flat most of the game to guard the table route, and the little angle route kind of runs. That the angle route kind of runs like a table, but it cuts inside immediately. So I think he just kind of fooled Ice's user here. So that was a good mix up there by Prodigy. Again, I like to see Prodigy kind of go under center here. And wow, that was super fortunate. I think what happened there is Prodigy was just trying to, get the ball off really quickly. And I think I would like to say he hit the wrong button there. I think he was just trying to get the ball snapped too quickly. And extremely fortunate that that was not picked off. Again, I'm curious to see what Prodigy has here. Again, I don't mind that from Prodigy. Just kind of throw a high ball. You somewhat had it, and in that situation, you gotta kind of play a little bit more aggressive. So, didn't come down with it, and that's basically almost gonna be game. ISIS really needs to get one more first down, and that's game over. And Prodigy actually goes with the onside kick. Again, I guess I don't mind. I guess I don't mind that decision. You get a chance of getting the ball back. It's super super slim. It's like a 0.01% chance of like recovering the onside kick, something like super slim like that. And even if Ice recovers it, he's still not going to be in field goal range. So I can kind of see where Prodigy was coming from, but I feel like if you kick it deep and you stop him, you get some pretty favorable field position. And really, you're just really not going to recover those onside kicks. And that's a good, again, Prodigy's a vet. Smart run commit there from Prodigy. Again, you know that Ice is really not going to do. Every time Ice is going to that formation, he's looking to run the ball. He's really just looking to clock this game out. So, and Prodigy does not want him to get in field goal range. So I love the run commit there from Prodigy. Honestly, he should probably even run commit again. If he's not running commit, both those safeties should be in spies. Again, great run commit. And really, by the time, and I don't mind Ice running here at all, by the time Prodigy gets the ball back, he'll have 35, 30 seconds, probably have no timeouts. So, and again, the drive the length of the field on this Madden with no timeouts is like Prodigy has a 99% chance of losing this game now, so there's no reason for Ice to pass in this situation at all. Again, just kind of punt the ball back to Prodigy, and that's basically going to be game over. Prodigy really just kind of has to work the sidelines, and maybe he'll get like a big play over the middle of the field. But really the biggest takeaways from this game was, again, Ice's decision making on offense was basically flawless. He didn't make a mistake on offense. And really the other biggest takeaway is just kind of how Prodigy set up his team. And Prodigy really didn't give himself much of a chance on offense, just because he decided to not use the playmaker chem. Maybe he wasn't aware of it. Maybe wasn't used to using it. Didn't know the best ways to use it. But it was going to be really hard for Prodigy to sustain offense without that playmaker chem. So again, I really thought if Ice scored like at least 10, 13 points, I really thought Ice would pull away with this. Again, it was just going to be hard for Prodigy to consistently score on offense. But also another thing on defense is, Ice could have played better defense this game too. I think he could have either blitzed him a little bit more, because Prodigy was really struggling versus the blitz, and again, you're going to see that pick end the game. Or even just run man-to-man with the running back manned up, because, again, Prodigy had good recognition. He kept sending his running back out on a route, knowing it would take Ice's user out to play. But the problem is Prodigy kind of got away from what was working in this game, and that kind of cost him. He got away from the slant or the middle of the field that kept getting open. But anyways, guys, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. I'm gonna finish out the rest of this club series. Kind of cover all the notable matchups. But anyways, guys, I'm out. Peace.